Good morning, folks. It's about 7:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, the Saturday before Memorial Day, which is on Monday. It's day number 42 for me. We got into Tehachapi, which is where I am at the moment, on Wednesday evening. So we had Thursday and Friday in town. Nice rest, get the jobs done, and then this morning we're heading back out. Got about a roughly 95-mile section for me to do to get to Ridgecrest. We're going to get off the trail at Walker Pass and hitch into Ridgecrest. That's the plan. I've got a couple of parcels waiting for me there. Tehachapi's been really nice, actually. It's a little walk to the supermarkets from the town centre, but it's certainly not too bad. And reports are that it's a lot nicer than Mojave, which is another town in the opposite direction. Right. Well, I wasn't expecting that to happen. It's 8 a.m. now, and just as I was walking through Tehachapi, I had to shut the video off pretty quickly. A trail angel pulled up called Sprinter. Really nice guy. He even hiked the trail himself, late 70s. I think he said 79. He even had some pictures that he showed me, some photos in the van. They were really cool to look at. Actually see him and his, I can't remember if he said it was brother or his friend, but they were going down into the aqueduct to get water, which is something you definitely can't do now. So that was quite cool to see. But yeah, I was wondering, I was basically going to hitch back out here. But he just stopped and picked me up. He had to drive around town one more time to look for any other hikers that might need a ride. There was no one around, so we just came straight out. He dropped me off. I gave him $10 for his trouble, because it is quite a way out of town, and to get an Uber it would have been $62, so it was very much appreciated. I'm hiking this little section on my own. Basically, if you remember, there's two places you can get into Tehachapi. This is the first one where you can get off trail and get into town. The second one is 8 miles ahead of me. This section is a very dry section. There's not much water on it at all. So to avoid doing a 26 mile water carry, Centipede's decided she's going to get back on at the second trailhead, 8 miles in front of me. So what it means is, if we're going to camp together tonight, I'm going to have to do about 27 miles, something like that. The silly thing is that I've hiked this section twice already, because something similar happened in 2019. Steph, the girl that I was hiking with, got off at this section. I got off at the second one. When we left town together. She wanted to come and do this, obviously get back on where she left off. So I said I would go with her, even though I'd already hiked it. So this is actually, even though it's only my second time on the PCT, this is my third time hiking this section. I find that really funny. I guess I could have skipped it and said this time, and said I've done it twice already, but I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to do it, so here I am. I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me, because the wind is absolutely crazy. The first mile or so it was just a headwind taking my breath away completely. Now it's changed, because I've changed direction. It's just a really strong side wind that keeps knocking me off balance. You can see why this wind farm's here though. if you're wondering what the big mounds of earth are as well, well, there's about 3 cement works in the area. I think the chap that gave us a ride into town, he said either one of them was called the Beehive, or they just had like that collective name. There were beehives. I can't remember what he said. But yeah, three big cement works. It's almost like a scene from a sci-fi movie. You know, like humans trying to colonise another planet. You can almost see like a big geodesic dome down there or something like that. It's a really, really strange landscape. I'll tell you something though, I hope this wind doesn't continue all day, because it is making hiking really, oh my goodness, that bush has just saved me. It's making hiking really, really difficult. The first mile in the headwind, I just wasn't even able to catch my breath. Here we go again. Oh, my avocados are swinging round as well. Oh, lovely. Feels like I've got a big pendulum on the back of my backpack. I'll have to fix that next time I stop. It's going to be a long old day today. So we stayed at 2 different hotels in town, and we actually found out, or I found out this morning, what's going on, why all the hotels are booked up. There wasn't a single room available in Tehachapi this evening. There's some sort of dance contest or something to do with dance on, like a competition or something, or a meeting. And that's why the town is very busy. So the first night we stayed at the Show Stay, which is a Best Western hotel. That was okay, that was alright. Decent breakfast in the morning. It was included in the price. And then because they were fully booked, we moved to the Fairfield Inn and Suites, which was quite a bit more expensive, but a really nice hotel actually. Very, very nice breakfast, again included in the price. One thing, I don't know what it is with the internet over here, but hotels seem to have really poor internet. Like, some of them will have like average download speeds and really slow upload speeds. Other ones will have like crazy fast download speeds but really, really poor upload speeds. As a consequence, I've been finding it really difficult to get videos uploaded to YouTube. Just as an example, I set a 9 gigabyte video off uploading last night about 10:30 p.m. before I went to sleep. I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. and it still hadn't uploaded. It's still showing an hour and 5 minutes left to upload. And I was connected to the hotel's Wi-Fi as well. I'm just going to guess that they've got some sort of restriction on it, and once you've used so much, they either slow it right down or they cut you off. But it's pretty poor, to be honest with you. I would expect more from a developed country, especially these big hotel chains. When I think back to the cafe I was at in Julian, where I sat for about an hour and got at least 4 videos uploaded in that hour, it's pretty poor, to be honest with you. So I've got one video that's kind of like stuck in the nether at the moment. Don't know what's going to happen to that. Well, I wasn't expecting to see a snake. I didn't think it'd be warm enough for them. But there you go. Right next to the trail. Nearly stepped on the tail, but just managed to avoid it. This wind. So just thinking about town and the feeling that you get when you come in off the trail, especially if it's been a long stretch like it had last time. You're coming off the trail and you get into the hotel room and you're absolutely filthy and you stink, you're hungry, you want to shower. You kind of put well, I do. I almost try and do everything at once. So I'm like, put the coffee machine on or make a coffee, put the TV on, get my stinking clothes off, jump in the shower. It's usually quite a long shower. Usually takes you 2 to get most of the dirt off. And then you're thinking like, right, where's going to be open to get some food? Where can I get some food? But the actual feeling you get of when you kind of get into the room and you put your pack down and you kind of like and relax, you can't duplicate it. And it is just that kind of between 5 and 15 minutes when you first get into the room, when you just kind of like breathe a huge relaxing sigh of relief. I do look forward to it each time. It's almost like a high, you could say. Right, so I've finally dropped out of the wind for the time being, and I can see my first objective for the day, Highway 58 down there. I believe if you can make out the overpass, the bridge down in the dip there, that's pretty much where I'm headed. And then cross over the highway, or under or whatever, cross the highway and start climbing up that hill. Interestingly enough, I think, I may be wrong, but I think that's where, if you've seen the movie Wild, there's a kind of iconic scene where Reese Witherspoon is walking off up like a hillside near the start of the movie. I'm pretty sure that's where that was filmed. We'll have a look when we get over there. I'll try and remember to film it if it is. See if you can recognise it. If you haven't watched Wild, and you do like the PCT and watching PCT videos, you should definitely check out Wild. How accurate the movie is, I don't know. I haven't read the book. But it is quite entertaining. Just had a good chat with the guy who gave me the ride this morning, Sprinter. He's basically just travelling up and down the PCT corridor helping people out. Really nice guy. And he's been up as far as kind of the Lone Pine area at the moment, which is up in the Sierras. And he'd been saying that he's been talking to quite a few people that have come down from the Sierras, and they're all saying it's still pretty difficult at the moment. There's still quite a lot of snow. There's also quite a lot of meltwater, making the river and stream crossings pretty hazardous. So, to be honest, after hearing that, I'm pretty glad I'm still in the desert. I would imagine it's going to be about 10 to 14 days, before we hit Kennedy Meadows South. It'll depend how many rest days we take in Ridgecrest, whether it's just 1 or 2 again. But there's certainly no rush to get up there at the moment. We want as good a chance as possible of getting through this time. I do not want another year like 2019, where I was plagued by the snow. I can already see down here where I slept last time. You won't be able to make it out probably. Just at the end of my trekking poles there's like a gravel wash that runs the side of the road. That was where I slept in 2019. And then when I woke up, I packed up and I just got myself onto the road, and a guy pulled up in a pickup that I'd spoken to 8 miles back where you get off where I started this morning. And at the time I was actually smoking. I smoked while I was on the 2019 trail, which was stupid. But when he met me at the picnic table 8 miles back, he said, "Oh, is there anything you want?" And I was out with tobacco, and I said, "Oh, I could really go a cigarette." And he said he would give me one, and he never did. And believe it or not, he'd remembered. And the next morning, he actually came out looking for me. That was the specific reason he came out, and he was actually looking for me. And he said, "Oh, I felt so bad. You said you wanted a cigarette, and I never gave you one." So he gave me a couple of cigarettes, and he gave me a ride into town, which I thought was just above and beyond. It's the kindness of people out here is just, it just makes you smile. It's really, really nice. It's how life should be. So I'm just coming up to Highway 58. It's a little after 10 a.m. So I've made decent time actually. Almost 4 miles an hour. I would say somewhere between 3 and 4 miles an hour I've been walking at in this wind. Pretty pleased with that. Still got plenty of water left as well, so I'm not going to have to use any caches that are around this area. I've passed one already. Just check my emails. Just want to say a massive thank you and a big hello to Tony and Anne. I hope you guys are alright and you're not ordering too many parcels. But thank you very much for your support. Really, really nice of you. And I'm glad that you're enjoying following along with the progress of the hike. Should be a couple of weeks and be able to show you some, all being well, pretty nice Sierra Nevada mountain scenery. Well, this stretch of the trail, as you can probably see, runs along by the side of Highway 58. Just as I was approaching it, there was another hiker walking towards me, and he was basically slack packing the 8 mile stretch. And he was like, "Do you want a beer or do you want a Gatorade?" Not would you like, it was basically you're having one because I want rid of them. So obviously I took a Gatorade off him. That was real nice of him. And then this guy's car here, he's a PCTA volunteer and he's just out on the trail, comes out about once a week and he's just knocking some weeds down basically, keeping the trail shipshape. I stood chatting to him and he's given me a box of these sweet tarts, which I guess are similar to the Love Hearts back home, but he said they're sweet and tart. So I've not had them before, but That was very nice of him. So basically I've been gifted a drink and some sweets this morning. Or some candy. If you want me to call it candy, I will. Yeah. So all going well so far, but I do have to, at some point, go up and over this thing. Little trip there. My legs are aching already, actually, and I can definitely tell that these shoes are ready for replacement because it's giving me just a little tiny bit of pain in places every now and then. I would imagine after the aqueduct walk, the treads are about gone on them. They'll get me the 90 miles or so to Ridgecrest. And fingers crossed, my new ones should be waiting for me there. Although, worryingly, I've had the email saying they've been dispatched, but when I click on the tracking number, it just says that a label has been created and they're awaiting the item. It's been like that for about 4 days now. So I have a feeling that section I was talking about from Wild is possibly this little bit that runs up here. My memory is pretty fuzzy, so it might not be that, but I think I'll probably set the camera up and video myself going up it anyway. It looks like it'll be a decent shot. Definitely still in the desert. I'm glad this wind's around now. I was cursing it this morning, but I'm really glad it's here now because when you're out of the wind, it is absolutely roasting hot. Still got a lot of climbing to do as well. See, someone's even left a little water cache here, right in the middle of, well, you know, right at the edge of the trail. There's a few jugs underneath the bush there. There is where somebody's camped. And then we carry on going up. It's just after 12 noon and I've probably got about 2 miles of climbing left until I get to the top of this thing. It has been a real lung buster so far this morning coming up here. It's always a bit more difficult when you've had a couple of days off or a day off. You're leaving town with a heavy pack. The wind's not helping breathing much. It kind of keeps taking my breath away from me, but it's certainly helping temperature wise to keep me a bit cooler. Because Centipede is so far in front of me, I shall be lunching for 1 today. I'd like to get this climb done with, but I don't know if I'm going to make it or not before lunch. I'm not really hungry at the moment. I really would like to see the back of this, be able to sit at the top and just check this view out while I'm having my lunch, because I think this is probably, oh, you can see a little bit of a dust storm over there. This shows you the extent of the Mojave a lot better than the camera angles when we were at the other side. It looks like it's endless. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna try and keep going. My legs are really aching, I've got to admit. I've not stopped this morning so far at all. Up until I started this climb, the walking wasn't too bad at all. But she's definitely knocking it out of me a bit. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out or not, but right in the very distance, you can see like a big sand or dust storm blowing up in the desert, which is quite cool to see. Something I don't think I've seen before, to be honest with you. Certainly not one that sort of size. If you can see it from here, it must be pretty big down there. So it's about 1:45. I'm at mile 574. I did just catch Centipede up about half hour ago, maybe a little bit more than that. I hadn't had lunch, but she had. So we've just stopped underneath this tree here, where there were lots of prickly things. I've had a very large lunch as well. I've been carrying a bottle of sriracha with me, sriracha sauce, quite a big bottle as well. And I don't mind it. I don't love it, but I don't mind it. It makes most things taste all right, so you can eat them. But I found some little bottles, only like, this sort of size, like little mini bottles in Walmart of all different types of sauces. So I got a selection of those and I dumped my sriracha. So I've just had some Thai sweet chili sauce on my avocado wrap, which was really, really nice. Pleased with that. And then I remembered when I was putting my trash away that I stole an apple from the breakfast buffet this morning. So I've just had a nice apple as well. Although I will say that they're not as nice as the apples at home. We've got about 9.5 miles to get to the water source. It's basically kind of one water source per day on this stretch from what I can gather. Yes, quite dry. So it's quite a change from the open wind fields this morning. We're now walking through this little forested area. The wind's still quite strong actually in this area. It's nice to have some shelter from it. The temperature's not too crazy hot at the moment. Feet and my legs. I sound like a right complainer, but my feet and my legs are really aching today. I'm hoping it's just the fact that I've had a couple of days off. Hello, Centipede.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Had some lunch?
Yep.
What did you have?
I had a tortilla with beef stuff, like a beef packet,
Yeah.
and I had Cheetos.
How many Cheetos did you have?
I tried to eat a lot. I think I have too much food.
It wouldn't be the first time, ladies and gentlemen. But she has promised that if I run out of food, I get to have some of hers, so that's not so bad. Thank you, Centipede. Onwards. Centipede went to see Blaze, the physio, again in Tehachapi, and she's given her like this, all I'm going to describe it as is like a giant rubber band to wrap around the calf. And it does seem to be helping, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it looks a bit strange when it's on. It looks like she's, well, I'm not going to say, but yeah, it looks a bit strange, but it seems to be doing some good. So that's good news. Well, shortly after lunch, we came through that little forested area and it led us out onto this dirt road, which apparently is named MK17. Don't know why, but this is the PCT for a little while. We've been following it for probably a little more than a mile now. I think it goes on for a while yet as well. It's not too bad. It's got some pretty nasty cambers on it, I'll be honest with you. And because it's so dry, I don't have a great deal of grip left on my shoes. Just slipping around a bit on the dusty stuff every now and then. And on the hard ground as well that this is, I'm definitely noticing that these shoes are ready for replacement. The wind's still howling around, but not much of it is actually finding its way down to us here in this shelter. So we're just walking in the sun, occasional bit of breeze. It's quite nice. Some pretty sweet views. Actually seeing some clouds for a change, not seen clouds for a while. Sorry, I do apologise before someone corrects me. It's not Forest Road MK17, it's MK10. At least get its name right if I'm going to be walking on it. It's about 3:30 PM. This road's still going. Like a track. I'm not going to call it a road, it's just like a dirt track basically. We're just remarking on it, there's been some really, really nice areas to camp, but there's no water. It's a 14-mile stretch without any water. So if you were prepared for that, you could find a beautiful little camp spot if you had enough water to get you through. And there wouldn't be many people around either, because everyone's making for the water. So we might do something like that tomorrow. Take a bit of extra water with us and do a dry camp somewhere. But the views are really nice still. Wow. Certainly different to all the windmills that we've been seeing recently. Some cool little rock formations as well. Look at this one. The way it's all weathered. Oh. There's a horny toad down here. It keeps running around. It's too fast for me there. We're at mile 579.3. The wind turbines are back. There's only a few up here though. We're about 4 miles away from the water source and it's about 20 to 5. Still really warm. Still on this MK10 road. I think there's about 2 miles left until the water source and I find I'm getting the camera out again just to record another bit of really nice little trail snaking along the hillside here. It's been a really odd day today. Quite a few miles done, obviously, but like when I think about how I started going across those open, windy hillsides, excuse me, with all the wind turbines, and then kind of up that open, exposed climb at the side of the highway, onto the top, into the little forested area, little treed area, and then onto that dirt road, which was a real mixed bag, was that dirt road. Some of it wasn't too bad, some of it was awful to walk on. And then now the dirt road has ended and we're kind of on this really nice trail just along the side of this valley. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but there's a wind turbine up to my right and it's kind of silhouetted by the sun, and the shadows of the blades keep sweeping over the hillside. I hope it does pick it up on the camera because it looks really nice. But yeah, it's been a really, really varied day terrain-wise and scenery-wise. Legs are really feeling it for the first time, I think, on this trip so far. I took a couple of ibuprofen pills this afternoon just to try and stop some of the aching, basically, and it seems to have done the trick as well. I do feel a decent amount better than I did earlier, but definitely still tired and achy. There's a sleeping centipede in a duplex. Oh, she's not sleeping apparently. We are at mile 583.3, which is Golden Oaks Spring, as are a lot of other people. But we are camped in what I would call a little secret bit above the spring and behind some trees. It's a nice flat, looks like it's been a little dirt track at some point. It's a nice flat little area. You could get another probably 5 tents in to one side of us, but no one's come up here yet. I've done about 25 miles today. That thing in there has done about 17, I think. But it has been a pretty hard day, to be honest. I think we both paid the price for lounging around in town for 2 days. 2.5 days, sorry, correction. But we made it to the water source, which is the main thing. Tomorrow we've got 20 miles to the next water source. And a lot of that is uphill as well. So we're going to have a long water carry tomorrow. I hope it's a little bit cooler than it has been today. Anyway, I can't think of a great deal else to say. Do you have anything to say?
Good night, YouTube.
That's why I don't let her speak on video. Right, that's it for today. See you next time, folks.